Well, hi there, Saxgourmet fans. It's Steve Goodson, and once again, I am addressing you one and all from the ultra top secret command and control bunker here at Saxgourmet World Headquarters, located in Sector R of the city of New Orleans. We're down here in the executive offices right now, and I want to show you something that we're very proud of. Those of you who've known me a real long time, and I'm talking about up through about 1976, will know that from the time I was barely 14 years old up until, which was in 1964, playing with the Fabulous Dudes. And by the way, they had a 9-passenger Cadillac limousine that said Fabulous Dudes on the side. We'd be riding down the road going to a gig, and you could pass people and they'd say, as they read that on the side. But anyway, when I was barely 14, I saved my money, which I made from playing gigs. We didn't have any of this GoFundMe crap, and I didn't start begging on the internet or even ask my dad for the money. But I went and bought myself a stainless steel burglars and mouthpiece, and I was unsatisfied with the hard rubber Selmer soloist that came with my Mark 6. So I went down to the music store that I patronized at the time, which was the Alabama Music Center, owned by Mr. George Pruitt. And Mr. Pruitt gave me a double handful of mouthpieces, Burglarsons, which were his favorite, and pointed me to a practice room there in the back of the store and said, try these out, and when you found one you like, come out. Which was, I thought, pretty good for guy indulging the kid barely 14. So I went in there, spent all afternoon, finally found one I liked. Came out and paid Mr. Pruitt what he asked, and used burglars and mouthpieces, like I said, up to about 1975, 1976, at which point I switched to Dukovs. I went through several burglars and ultimately ended up playing a 140 over 0 SMS with a number 5 Rico Reed, and that's a very manly setup. Well, anyway, customers ask me all the time, Steve, what made those old Bergs sound so good? And one of the things is the material that they used, and they used what's known as surgical grade stainless steel. Also, of course, Bergs had some kind of unique design characteristics. And because really their idea was good, the execution wasn't always the best. I think anybody that's worked on a lot of mouthpieces will tell you that Bergs, you get a good one, they're great, but they're very inconsistent. They're not all the same. But anyway, we wanted something in that style for our customers, and so here it is. This is the Saxgourmet Yellow Moon. And Yellow Moon, why? That's in tribute to my good friend, the Neville brothers, particularly Mr. Charles Neville, who was always so kind to me. But anyway, we call it the Yellow Moon. And it's got a lot of features that I think you're going to like, particularly if you're a rock or a jazz player. Remember, Sonny Rollins uses a Berg, so do Bobby Keys. Okay, now, first, it's got a duckbill beak, and a duckbill beak means that this is going to be a little thinner right in here, so it's going to be a little more responsive. Also, this has a shorter curve than we use on some of our mouthpieces. Now, all of our curves that we use on our mouthpieces, on all models, are what is known as a pure radial curve. In other words, they're a portion of the arc of a circle that enables the reed to wrap around the facing curve very smoothly. But this one is a little shorter. This one measures 48 on a standard mouthpiece gauge, whereas most of our tenor mouthpieces measure about 52 or so. Now, the table on this, just because we can, I hope you can see this in the video, but we even use that denim pattern that Berg used on theirs, and it's got a very, very thin edge here at the beginning of the table where the window starts. Man, you could even shave with that, it's so sharp. Ultra thin rails, ultra thin tip rail, ultra thin side rails, little bit of rollover in the baffle here, a little speed bump. And in this case, it's got what is known as a cliff type baffle leading into a medium large chamber. This keeps the mouthpiece from sounding too thin. Now, we make this in 3 different tip openings. Every one of them is hand faced. Nothing is off. We don't just grab one out of the bin and send it to you. If you order 105, well, I'm gonna sit here and face it till it's 105. That one's a custom job. But anyway, if you're a rock and roll player that won't sound like Bobby Keys, and who doesn't, or if you're a jazz player, won't sound like Sonny Rollins, and who doesn't, then maybe you ought to think about getting yourself a Saxgourmet Yellow Moon stainless steel mouthpiece. And every Yellow Moon comes with a Saxgourmet gold-plated ligature and a Saxgourmet gold-plated ventilated cap. Got Saxgourmet logo on the side too. So this is a good choice. You can get it at 90, 105, or 120 thousandths opening, and we'll of course adjust the curve accordingly to the tip opening and all that good stuff. Everyone is hand faced by me, and everyone is play tested by me, nobody else. So if you have questions about the Yellow Moon stainless steel mouthpiece, or any of our other products for that matter, you can call me at my office during business hours, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, not evenings, not Friday, not Saturday, not Sunday, between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Central Time. And I'm glad to answer all your questions about any aspects of saxophones, but particularly about our products. So check out the Yellow Moon. I think you're going to like it. We sell a lot of them. At any rate, this is Steve Goodson, and I want to remind each and every one of you to take off your shoes. Practice long tones every day. Remember, keep your reed wet. And remember always that Saxgourmet plays best. Goodbye for now, and thanks for watching.